Hey guys, so I have received this article right here from a number of clients, friends, colleagues, etc. wanting to know my thoughts. So I'm going to try this new thing where just read it on camera and give you my thoughts live. So I haven't read this article. I have read the headline, and I can tell you the headline alone has me a little bit pissed off. But let's give Mike here the benefit of the doubt and let's read it together. So the headline is, Condo investors are trying to tear up purchase contracts as rental prices drop. And I'll tell you why this headline pisses me off before I even know the content. The reason is because it is dripping in hyperbole. And the headline is suggesting, implying to the reader, right, that people are literally walking away from condos. So when you buy a pre-construction condo, you put 20% down or 15% down. And this headline would allude to the fact that people are walking away from their 20% down because of the fact that rents are down like 5-10% in the city, and losing out on that money. And just for your reference, it's not like you can buy a pre-construction condo, just declare you don't want it anymore and walk away from it.
I declare bankruptcy!
There, like any legal contract, there are obligations, and that exposes you to legal repercussions, namely in the form of damages. Let's read. There are more signs of cracks in the condominium market, which is an ominous way to start the article. Condo builders are seeing an increasing number of investors trying to tear up their purchase contracts. All right, Mike, this is the second time you use the terminology tear up. People better be walking away. With rental prices for condos down 10 months in a row, the financial metrics may no longer work for some buyers on new projects who bought with little money down. This is partially true. So rents are down 10 months, month over month, rents are down. So depending on where you're located, if you're talking about a condo in the downtown core, rents are down about 10 to 12% over this time last year. If you are talking about a condo in the suburbs, rents are down like 5% max, right? The financial metrics may no longer work out. What he's talking about here, what he's alluding to here, I'm assuming is cash flow. So when you take your mortgage payment, plus your maintenance fees, plus your property taxes, and then you subtract that from your rental income, do the metrics make sense? I.e., does the unit carry its own costs? Now, the truth is, most units don't cash flow and haven't cash flowed for some time in Toronto, just like they don't cash flow in Manhattan, Hong Kong, San Francisco, or any of these other major metros of note in the world. Now, with that being said, he's right, rental prices are down, so those metrics would look worse, but mortgage rates are offsetting that. So mortgage rates are also down. So the metrics are kind of the same. It kind of works out in a wash. Despite record low borrowing costs, some purchasers on new projects have been looking to offload their properties. Offload their properties, selling the right to buy a new condo in a practice called assignment sales. So what he really means by his headline is nobody is tearing up their contract. In fact, people are reselling their contract to a new purchaser at most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, at a massive profit, right? And once you calculate selling commissions and capital gains and all the taxes that may come along the way, it's really not, you don't make that much profit on assignment sales, but nobody's walking away from their units. No one's killing their contracts. No one's giving the builder their $80,000 deposit and saying, I don't want the unit anymore, you can keep my money. That's not happening. Realtors who broker pre-construction sales told the Globe and Mail there has been a wave of assignment listings with a glut of newly built properties and the number of vacant units, specifically in the 416, surging to levels not seen in years. Yeah, this is true. There's more assignments than there normally are, but it's also important to remember that a large chunk of pre-construction sales were always destined to become assignments, right? A lot of people who buy pre-construction think that assignment sales are like some get-rich-quick scheme and they can buy a condo, hold it for 3 years and make $100,000 in profit. Of course, once you pay your real estate commission, once you pay the government, there's very little of that $100,000 left. But that's a whole other argument entirely. But I'll tell you, 10 to 15% of the clients who come into my office to meet with me, that's what they want. They want to buy a condo and they want to flip it via assignment. And I have to coach them out of that and tell them, look, you want to make money in real estate, you got to hold it for 10 years. But again, a lot of these units were always destined to become assignments. The question is, how many more assignments are there because people can't afford to close? And that's a harder number to figure out. Industry research group Urban Nation has calculated the vacancy rate at the highest in over a decade, with average rental prices down nearly 10% since the start of the pandemic. Yeah, this is totally true, but again, our vacancy rate was at 0.8% pre-COVID, which was like one of, if not the lowest vacancy rates in all of North America for residential, single-family residential. So yeah, our vacancy rate may have doubled, but that still makes our vacancy better than almost everywhere else in North America. The Globe and Mail reports demand for rentals has dropped with border restrictions and no tourism, leading to less demand for Airbnbs. Yeah, 100%. It's a travesty. A record-breaking 23,000 new condo units will be completing in Toronto region this year, and another 23,000 due next year. Again, this doesn't, without the context of our immigration numbers, this doesn't do a whole lot. It's kind of just making it seem like we're building, you know, so many condos, but there's no one to move in. This is obviously isn't true. Immigration, our population growth in Toronto for 2019 was 127,000. For 2018, it was 125,000, and that number is projected to go up with the government's new announcement that we're going to be increasing immigration massively. Yeah, so this article, I mean, the headline makes it seem like people are just walking away from their condos en masse. Of course, that isn't the case. Nothing against Mike. He's trying to, you know, get clicks and whatnot. And assignment listing volume is absolutely up. It's more than it normally would be. But most of those people are actually selling at some level of profit, right? Provided they bought 3 years ago or before that. So just for fun, I'm going to pull up a client of mine, because if somebody's closing on a unit now or supposed to close on a unit now, they bought it 3 to 5 years ago, so 2017 through 2015. I'm going to bring up one of my purchasers from those years and just give you what the numbers actually look like. So give me 1 second here. So my client Fred bought a unit at Kingsway by the River, which is closing now, back in 2017 with me. It was a 614 square foot, 1 bedroom plus den with parking. He paid $427,900. It is now worth today, as in right now, like mid-COVID, at least based on this comp, it's worth at least $600,000. So if he was going to tear up his contract and not close and walk away, he would not only be losing his $86,000 in down payment, he would be leaving behind $170,000 in profit. So yeah, for the most part, nobody's tearing up their condo contracts and walking away without deposits. And if you know somebody who is, have them reach out to me, because I'll buy it from them.